Hi guys, Laszlotastic here, but if you only listen to my SoundCloud, then I'm Lazazona. Other people know me as Laszlo, and today I'm having a great idea. To help me obviously focus more on this essay I should be writing, I'm going to do a live podcast. Well, it's not actually live. It's live for me, not for you unless you're here in my room, which I hope you're not, because I can't see you, and if you are here, that's spooky. Anyway, I'm going to do a podcast while I write an essay. Maybe we'll learn together. I have a basic idea of it, so let's start. This class is for CHI or REL 343. The class is Taoism. Taoism is a pretty cool religion. They have like bureaucratic gods. Their gods have a government. Don't take it from me. This is just what I've learned so far. Taoism could have changed over time. I'm still in the 300s in this boy. Anyway, I'm writing essay number 5 for my class. This class that is Taoism. Now, the essay prompt. Write a 2-page, double-space, 12-point type paper. 2-page paper is easy. It's just getting started that's the hard part. But sometimes actually 2 pages is harder because you got to condense a lot of important information into a small piece. Now here's the paper prompt. The following question. Get ready everybody, here it comes. By what method will Yang Ji marry a goddess, the consort An, according to the account found in Declarations of the Perfected? The most successful response will draw supporting information from the reading What Taoist Body. So I have both the PDFs for Declarations of the Perfected and for What Taoist Body, both pieces written by my professor, in which there's translations from the actual Taoist writing, and then a lot of his writing about what this stuff means. The good thing about this paper is that it's the first draft. And the way this class is designed is you submit a first draft by 11:59 p.m. of the due date, and then you immediately upon your submission are emailed 2 other classmates' anonymous submissions, and then you have to write a peer review for them, and a peer review is due the following Sunday at 11:59 p.m. And then usually the next Monday or Wednesday at 11:59 p.m. you take a looky-do at whatever subpar peer reviews your classmates gave to you, and then you write a final draft. So sometimes I intentionally do not write the whole paper and use little smiley faces and write something like, to be continued. And then in the first draft, I actually take time and in the second draft, I take time and actually finish the paper. This feels like it's going to be one of those times where I might not write, because the other day I wrote the entire paper and I just left out a little bit of the intro to be like, here's something I can improve. And then when Wednesday came around, I was like, here's a little bit of a longer intro. Now the paper's done. This, however, looks like it'll be a real first draft. Yang Ji, he was a wild boy. Yang Ji sure was a character. Now let me tell you about this Yang Ji guy, okay? Right after the break. Hey, it's me, Laszlo Mark. Still in the same podcast. I didn't go anywhere. Not sure why I made a break. Anyway, let's talk about Yang Ji. Yang Ji was a guy in Taoism. On the night of the 26th of the 3rd month, a host of perfected came as listed below. Lady Wang of the Purple Tenuity, the perfected consort 9 Blossoms of the upper palaces of the Purple Clarity, my teacher, Lady of the South Mount, Director of Destinies of the upper perfected, the perfected one of Purple Celerity. If a lot of that sounds like hoopla, You're right. Yangji was a medium who worked for some rich families known as the Zhus. Their surname was Zhu. And so there was like Zhu Mi was, I guess, Yangji's boss, the dude he worked for. And then Zhu Mi had like some kids, like Zhu Hui. Anyway, Yangji was this medium. He was this spiritual boy. And he would go into his meditation chamber, his meditation room, late at night. No one's allowed in. Nobody can go in there. And then he comes out in the morning with a bunch of scribble-scrapped papers. He didn't have the best handwriting. And he was like, these are the writings that I wrote down from what these new gods I'm about to tell you about have told me I need to write down. So, get this. There used to be Celestial Master Taoism, and there's a whole bunch of stuff on that. I'm done talking about that, because I already wrote like 2 papers on Celestial Master Taoism. Anyway, so all the gods in the previous versions of Taoism, they're fine, but get this. They're not the best. Yangji himself discovered, in this new form of highest clarity, also known as Shangqing Taoism, that there are beings called the perfected who come from the highest heaven. So there's heaven, there's like different levels of heaven. And now Yangji's like, get this, all the gods you thought were at the top, they're okay. But there's a new layer at the top. There's some new boys in town, and they're better gods and goddesses. And so Yangji has all these papers of this stuff. He's supposedly getting visions. He's being visited by the perfected, and they've chosen him because he's obviously so goddamn cool that the gods want to chill with Yangji. And when his boss, when one of the Zhus calls him out, like, hey, all this seems to be like your shitty handwriting. And he's like, well, excuse you, but the gods don't have time to waste on writing. The gods aren't going to write themselves. What do you think they are? Peasants? Plebeians? Mortals? I don't think so. And so obviously Yangji took it upon himself. He is writing down what the perfected are telling him. He's visited by a goddess, consort An, and like her assistant or matchmaker, Lady Wong. And Yangji's handwriting is really bad. It's this like really fast writing that isn't the best. And he's like, no. This is the way that the gods write. And so honestly, my handwriting is so much better than yours because I'm getting closer and closer to being like the perfected with my beautiful grass writing. These scribbles, they're divine. And so the Zhus listen to Yangji as he wakes up every morning and tells them all these sweet, cool things that he's learning. And he has this goddess, consort An, who like has proposed a marriage to Yangji. As I was saying, consort An was this goddess who was so cool. And Yangji definitely spent a lot of time talking about a lot of possibly made up symbolism that now has meaning, of like all these symbols and iconography and like titles of these new perfected hierarchy to let you know this is a pretty important goddess. But more importantly, this goddess wanted Yangji. Yangji was so cool, such a chill dude, so already smart, that the goddess believed it must be destiny that they have to be married. And so they come down and they propose the marriage to Yangji. But he's not necessarily ready yet because he has to take some other steps before he's fully enlightened or closer to being perfected, considering the fact that he is a mortal human. And as he gets closer to being more divine himself, then he can marry this consort An. But it's not going to be a physical marriage because sex is for losers. Because the only reason Yang Ji isn't getting any is because he's totally cool and he's totally married to a goddess. That's why he's single, guys. Don't make fun of me. I'm with the goddess. So what I'm going to be writing about in my paper is the practices told to Yang Ji about how he will go through this spiritual marriage. Remember, it's not a physical marriage. It is more of a spiritual unity, and it could be a metaphor for something else. Because a lot of these old Taoist stuff that I've been reading so far sure has a lot of sexual rites in it. It seems to be a lot of this is the right way to have sex. Or in Yang Ji's case, it's the only reason I'm not having sex is because I'm above that. I'm like fucking a god right now. So I think I'll end the podcast and actually write the paper now because I realized that when I'm typing, I'm not talking. And when I'm talking, I'm not typing. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Have a great time of day or night in which you are listening to this. Bye!